You start thinking like, okay, maybe I can do this as a job, and especially in today's market where you have guys that are making money like doing stuff, and I think that's kind of, you look at it and be like, wow, like this could really be more than just a hobby for me. And I think that's not my why. My why is
All right, thanks for tuning into the NAGOMI podcast. I'm your host, Sean Obana, and we have a special guest today, Brady Berard. And before we introduce you to him and his experiences, I'm going to start you guys off with another quote. Everyone want to be somebody. You don't know me, but you know my body. That's Somebody by Sleepy Hollow and Sheff G. And what I take from that, it's like everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be that D1 hockey athlete, right? But you don't know what it's like to really get there and to be there. But I mean, you know them, and everybody wants to be there, but they don't know what it's really like. And today we'll get into what it's really like to get there and to be there at such a high level. And so Brady was on the U.S. National Development Team, ranked 138th by NHL Central Scouting for the 2022 NHL Draft, prior to Providence, and transferred to BC, where he is now. And so, how did you first get into hockey?
So actually, well, first off, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. First off, my dad was a goalie. He played goalie actually at Providence College, and he always grown up playing hockey. So we just kind of, when my dad first initially got me and Brett, he always wanted us to be hockey players. He just didn't know when he wanted to start. Yes, my brother Brett, sorry. So then my brother's also 18 months older than me. So we just had a knack for playing hockey. My dad got us into skates pretty early. My brother started skating when he basically first started to walk.
Oh, wow.
So he started when he was about 2, and then I tried it when I was younger, didn't like it, and then I started actually doing learn to skates when I was about 6. So I've been around it for a while. My mom was a field hockey player, so that's a little different, but we just always been around sports. My family's a big hockey family, so it just kind of worked out.
Yeah, and where'd you grow up? Where you from?
East Greenwich, Rhode Island. It's like in central Rhode Island, kind of near the water. So it's a good. It's not a very big hockey state, but it's starting to get bigger, which is good to see in Rhode Island too. So.
I mean, on the East Coast, and I guess you're kind of close to Canada up there. But I'm from California, so there's really no rinks, and it's not very cold around there, so it's not a huge thing. And did you play any other sports growing up? Or
so I tried just about everything. A big thing for my parents was always getting us into sports, no matter what sport it was. So I played the normal, like the soccer when I was younger, lacrosse, baseball. I played till I was a freshman year in high school, and then I just stuck to hockey, and then obviously play like golf in the summers and do those little activities.
And how did you decide that hockey was going to be your sport? Did you get good, or was it kind of...
No, I think it just kind of clicked to me. Like, it was the most passion I was about sport. Obviously I tried just about everything. But for me, hockey was always that sport where I got excited to go to, no matter if it was a skate with 2 people or it was like 100-person skate. Like it was always exciting for me to go to, and I think that's what narrowed down my options to stick in hockey for as long as I am now.
That's sweet. And did you have like an idol or a hero, or was that mostly probably your dad maybe? Or?
I would say my dad a lot. I would also say my brother too. I would just say both. My mom too, even though she never played hockey, she was always an idol for me just because of her work ethic and stuff like that. So each and every one had a contribution at some point in my life. But they're different, but I think all of them have like a huge impact on me and have always been my heroes, all 3 of them. So.
And what was the recruiting process like for college? I know for lacrosse, went through that, and it's pretty tough. I mean, it's kind of like recruiting for a job almost. It's pretty similar, but what was it like for hockey?
So my for hockey, with the transfer portal, I can get into the transfer portal a little after, but the recruiting stuff. When I was a freshman, I always wanted to go to Providence. It was always a dream for me to go there, just because my mom, my dad, my brother all went there. And my brother was committed when I committed at that point, but he wasn't there yet. But it was always a big thing for me to kind of live out that family dream of going to Providence College. Ultimately, it didn't work out, but I think for me, the recruiting process is pretty self-explanatory. I think I always wanted to go to Providence. Providence knew that. My brother knew that. My dad, all family knew that. So I actually didn't talk to any other schools but Providence, and I committed when I was super early, too. I was a freshman year of high school.
Oh, wow.
When I committed. So,
that is super early.
Yeah, and that was before the new rule got put in place where you can't talk to someone for a certain amount of time. So you had kids committed in like 8th grade. It was
really for hockey?
Crazy. Yeah, it was
Holy
crazy.
Crap.
Yeah. But so then I committed when I was a freshman, then obviously ultimately went to Providence for 2 years, and now here. So
yeah, awesome. And your transfer process, what was that like? What did you value in a school?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the transfer process was extremely tough on me, and it was just hard because you had some schools reach out and they would be like, oh, we're super interested, and then the next day they would be like, no, we're moving somewhere else because there's another guy that entered the portal. So it's a hard process. Like I don't think it's a process that anyone should go through, really. It is tough. Obviously for me, I'm a little biased, but it can change people's lives in a good way, and it definitely changed mine for sure. I think being here is just so amazing with everything, including team, the academics, coaches, administrators, like whatever it may be. I think it is honestly the best decision I've ever made in my life. But I mean, it was tough, but BC always stuck by my side throughout the whole process, and it's really cool to kind of be here and still be close to home. So
that's great. I hear that same thing. Whether it's like baseball kids here, they're like, "Oh, BC's been great, like just with me the whole time and just really supporting you throughout the process," which is great. Yeah. What major are you? What major were you, and what made you wanted to transfer? Because you're in the business school.
Yes, correct. So I was at Providence. I was just like a straight business management major. Okay. So it was just you.
Did they have a business school there?
Yes, they did. Okay. It's actually a really good business school as well. But it was just they didn't have like the concentrations and stuff like that. Really, like you could, but it wasn't as popular like it is here. Yeah. But yeah, I was a straight business major. Here I'm a business major, but I'm like concentrating in management and leadership, which has been really cool, just to kind of go through everything and see what everything's about. And I think it's a little different switch up. Totally. The class are a little more kind of like, I guess, high environment, sort of like you feel like you're getting a lot out of it. Not like I did get a lot out of it at PC, but obviously you're surrounded by very unbelievable, unique students. So it's good. It makes you get pushed a little bit. So it's been good.
And how has hockey shaped your identity?
I think for me, just the thing that I take away most from hockey is just the determination, hard work. Every day you have to show up and you have to give your A+ effort, no matter if it's in the weight room or at the rink on the ice. Even like your personality, you can't change who you are, no matter if you had a bad, like, I mean, it's reasonable to have like a bad day or like something you get bad, like you got to study for an exam, whatever, and you're tired, but you always got to bring your best effort that day, and you got to use your 100% gas that day. And if you don't, like, you're just losing, you're wasting a day. And I think that's the thing with school is, if you don't give your 100% effort in school, you aren't going to get the results. And
especially on the team, I feel like it's not even about you. It's about your team too. Like, you have to do it for your team.
So it is tough. Every day brings a little more challenge, no matter what it is. But no, it's been great. And I think the big thing about hockey is you can really bring the same identity to school, and you can approach things the same way. And same with school, you can approach the same things with sports.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most unique thing about being an athlete here.
Yeah. And what is your life like being like at the top level for hockey, but then also in the business school you're competing, like only a certain amount of people get A's. It's very highly competitive. Yeah. So what is it like being in two different communities that are at the highest level?
Yeah, I mean it's hard. Like hockey, like I just mentioned a little bit before, hockey you're required to set a pretty high standard every day. And being a great person is one, and then being a great athlete is another. And I think the way you represent yourself around school and around, when you get a bite to eat or around the rink, like that's a massive thing. And I think with school, it's the same thing. You want to sell yourself to a standard where you're trying to achieve all your goals and eventually get a great job when you're life after college and stuff like that. So I think they go hand in hand with one another for sure. They're obviously one's a sport and one's academics. It's a little different, but you can still bring the same qualities to each other. And I think that's just a huge thing for me is what I live by.
And personally, I think it can get pretty isolating because when you're competing in these two communities, these two different groups, right? It's like, how do you feel like, do you belong in the hockey one or the academic one more? I feel like it's hard to belong to both and really like find your identity in that.
I mean, I think it is tough to balance at some points. You do have a sense of passion towards your academics, obviously, because you're only going to play hockey for so long. Yeah, it's just the reality of things. So then you do have that sense of passion for academics and being a great student, but you also have that sense of passion for hockey because that's what you want to do right after college. That's the near future. That's where you see most of your best friends every day. That's you get a sense of passion from there. But academics, it's what I always think is it's life after college too. Like it's what you're gonna have to do, and whenever you go to play pro, like you're still gonna have to do some stuff that you learned in school. Like you can't just not go to school and play pro hockey and then think you're gonna survive in the later in life. And it's tough. It's hard to balance, but I just try to think about the positives to both, and I think you just kind of let them guide you. So
and do you? I mean, sometimes in these different communities, do you feel imposter syndrome? Like maybe these guys are real studs. These guys are really smart. I don't belong here. Like these guys are just way better than me.
I think with hockey first, you can feel like that, but it's not the right way to you kind of approach things because then you just get nervous. You get tight, like stuff like that. Like I'm playing with like the best player in the country. But I honestly use that as an advantage because not a lot of people get to see that.
The opportunity to play with
get the opportunity to play with such great players. And then with school, even that too, is BC, it has some like the brightest students and most achievable students here, and you just got to take advantage of that because realistically you're going to be in a job environment and you're probably going to deal with people that had maybe like a lesser degree from another college, and I'll be like, I can use this to really my advantage because I had like multiple classes with great achievable people, and I think you just got to take the advantages out of things and be like, wow, like this is truly an awesome and dream come true to really be a part of such a cool environment. Like
that's a great perspective.
Yeah.
And is it exhausting though? I'm sure it's exhausting. Like you might have some burnout with hockey or academics, like balancing the two. Like you experience burnout.
It's hard. You do burn out a little bit. It's just natural life, but you always gotta look at their perspective on things. I think for me, like I mentioned multiple times, is perspective on school and perspective on hockey. I think it's so crucial to be such a good student and while maintaining such a high hockey standard. And I think those two go head in head. And I think it's so crucial to just give your all every day. And I think. It's tough. Like you do, like there's sometimes you obviously dread going to classes, like I want summer, I want whatever.
I'm in that stage right now.
Exactly. It's tough. It's hard. But then when you come back, when you come to school, it's like, wow, I get to see all my friends I haven't seen, or I get to take this cool class or whatever it may be. And I think hockey's the same way. You play, obviously we don't play as much games in the NHL, but you play probably, if you want to have a good year, you play close to 45 games, and I think
it's a ton.
It's a lot, and it takes a lot in your mental stuff too. But I mean, you do it what you love, you know.
Yeah.
You always love hockey, but you're just tired, like your body's banged up.
Yeah.
You have nagging injuries, and I think that's the same with school. Is you just get tired to go into the same 9 a.m. class every day, 10 o'clock class every day. So it's tough, but you got to deal with it. It's part of life, and you just got to move forward.
Do you guys have an off season? Like, what is that like?
Yeah, so we ended 2 weeks ago from yesterday. We just started workouts. We did testing.
What's testing?
Just like bench press, like stuff like that.
A baseline almost.
Yeah, baseline test. So we did that, and then our first day of workouts is today, as well as skates. Mm-hmm. Then we'll do it for the next 2 weeks. And then after that we have exams, so then we're done. And then obviously summer workouts. I think summer workouts start for me, I think May 20th. And then once May 20th hits, you go till the school year starts, and and then you find like the skates in the summer, whatever you want to do, and then then you go from there, and whatever happens, you just go day by day. There's no really days off in the summer beside the weekend. So you got to earn everything.
And you stay here?
Yeah, so I actually live, it's like only an hour away, so I'll either commute, and then my girlfriend actually comes to BC as well, and she has a house off campus, and she has till August,
awesome.
So I'll be staying there a couple times a week too. So it's a unique setup, but it's good, and I'm excited for the summer.
Yeah, no, that works out well. And you mentioned like your mental, physical, and all that, and I mean, you really don't have like a time to relax and like have a summer to just be like, okay, like I can be off from like hockey, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure that takes a lot of your mental and physical exhaustion. And so what do you sacrifice when you do invest so much of your time into hockey?
Yeah, I mean, you sacrifice a lot. Like obviously school is a requirement, hockey is a requirement, but you see other stuff. You see people, like you just to a sense it does hurt your social life, I guess, a little bit, because you're literally just go all the time, and you don't have time to go out with friends, get a dinner, or meet some new people. Like it's tough, and you already do have that unique friendship with your hockey teammates, but it's another thing to kind of go outside that box and try to meet new people and start conversations when you can and stuff like that. So it's tough. We fall behind on like getting that type of stuff just because you have no time to kind of go out and see people. But it's tough. You got to sacrifice a lot. You got to sacrifice some family vacations. Yeah. Like when my mom or dad go on vacation, you can't go because you have hockey or hockey practice, or maybe your friend's birthday party and you can't go to their birthday party because you have a game the next day. So it's a sacrifice to a lot. I'd say it's more social than anything else. Yeah. But I mean, you got to find a way to deal with it. Obviously, to me, I try to meet as much people as I can, because I think that's a huge thing in life, because you don't know where someone's going after college or whatever it may be. So you might be looking for a job after college, and the person you introduced and had a good reaction to, or they had a good reaction on you, then they're going to hire you in that job process. Right.
They want to work with you.
But if you don't have a good interaction with them and you're whatever, then they're not going to hire you. It's just you never know where you're going to encounter that person in your life.
Getting through all, like, it's super hard sacrificing your social life. I'm sure seeing it on social media, it's hard, like the FOMO. But how is your why for why you do this? Why you put yourself in this spot where it's really hard? Why do you do it? And how has it changed over time?
Yeah, I think as you obviously get older, you start thinking like, okay, maybe I can do this as a job, and especially in today's market where you have guys that are making money like doing stuff, and I think that's kind of, you look at it and be like, wow, like this could really be more than just a hobby for me. And I think that's not my why. My why is to really just I think my biggest why is to do it with for my family, obviously. I just want to make my parents and my brother proud. And also another why is doing it for people in Rhode Island too. I think me and my brother, when we started kind of climbing up the ranks of hockey and stuff in Rhode Island, I think that just put Rhode Island more on the map of maybe we can just help one kid and say, hey, like maybe I want to pick up hockey and be like Brett Berard or Brady Berard, like stuff like that.
That's
and I
awesome.
think that's more of my why to do it. And I think just if I can make one kid happy and try to see, they can see like it's a process, but it's doable. Is honestly my biggest why beside my family.
That's awesome.
Well. Yeah.
And you talked a lot about what's life like after college. So what does life look like after college for you? Do you want to go to the NHL, corporate?
Yeah, so I think for me, I do obviously want to play after. Obviously, every kid's college dream after college is playing the NHL. I think that's a goal for me, obviously, and it's obviously tough. You have 32 teams, and every guy on the 32 teams are unbelievable hockey player. So it's obviously tough, and you have so many kids that are in the CHL or like overseas or whatever that all these scouts are looking at too. So you do got to put things in perspective a little bit and just be like, hey, the NHL doesn't work out. Like what's the plan B? And I think for me, I haven't really thought about that heavily. I do. Real estate has always been kind of my niche, and
sweet.
I love that side of things. And I think that's what I eventually want to do. I'm obviously going to give hockey a go until I can't anymore. And then we'll go from there. But real estate has always been something for me that I can kind of attracted to. So
sweet.
Yep.
And if you could go back in time and tell yourself like one piece of advice, what would that be?
I think like I mentioned before is give yourself a standard and stay true to it. Obviously you kind of have that maturing phase where you kind of get immature with some decisions you make. You're hanging out with 14, 15-year-old kids, and I think I did a really good job of setting a standard for myself and setting a standard for my family and really abiding by that standard. And I think that's honestly helped me to become the person I am today. Obviously, there's some little things, whatever. All kids are stupid at some point. But yeah, I think that's for me is just telling my younger self, just say yourself to a standard, and I think I did that growing up now, and I'll keep continuing to do it. After college.
And is that the same advice you would give to somebody wanting to, like a little kid who wants to become a D1 hockey player?
Yeah, I think you got to stay true to yourself. I would tell them you got to stay true to yourself, and you got to be determined to try get to your dreams. I think determination is a huge factor into things. If you don't have the hard work and determination of things, you're probably not going to be successful. Obviously, no one's perfect. You're not going to be determined 365 days in a year. But you do got to be determined and stay strong to your standard, or you're gonna see your just self fall off a little bit.
No, I see the social media, like people being on social media all the time. It's really hard to just be yourself. Like there's always something better that you could be, or somebody else is better than you. Like, so how do you internalize that? I am myself. Like I can.
I've honestly, during these past few years with me at Providence and not playing that much, and obviously coming here, is hockey is just a thing in life. Like it is honestly it's a sport, and if you're good enough, you're gonna make money into it. But there's so much more in life that you can achieve, and I think that's been my thing for me is I love hockey and I'm going to play it till I can't anymore.
Yeah.
But there's so much more in life than hockey. And I think I think you just got to stay true to yourself. Like, you know your inner circle loves you. You know everyone around you loves you. Like, it's just a thing that you got to stay true to it, and you got to just be yourself. And if people don't like you for being yourself, then that's not the right person for you.
Awesome.
So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, and thank you so much for tuning into the NAGOMI podcast.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.